Hello, my name is Morgan. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Lainey.
And your pronouns?
She and her.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
And what brings you in?
Um, I'm here because people say I have a drinking problem. I don't see a problem with it. I function just fine.
So how does the alcohol make you feel?
It makes me feel like I'm able to get through the day. It's a lot easier when I'm drinking. Alcohol makes me forget my problems.
So, what does a typical day look like for you?
Usually I start with some light drinking in the morning, spice my coffee. I'm not drunk or anything, just like a little tipsy. Life's too stressful to be sober. Then I might down a couple shoes before work, a little pick me up. And then when I get home, depending on how hard the day was, I'll have a glass or two of wine, maybe a bottle.
Okay. So, life is too stressful to be sober. What are some of the things that stress you out?
Where to begin? My job, my family. I feel like the world is weighing on my back. My manager is an ass and the paychecks suck. I want to leave, but I don't know where to go. My family's always telling me to do better and be better, but it's easier said than done.
You said your family is telling you to do better. How do they feel about your drinking?
My family is not a fan. They cannot stand it. My dad was a drinker and they don't want me to end up the same way. Apparently, it runs in the family. But my family doesn't understand. My dad was a deadbeat.
What was your father like when you were growing up?
He was absent for the most part, but when he was there, he was always belligerent and angry.
And how did his actions make you feel?
I don't know. I mean, no one's really ever asked me that. I guess frustrated, sad growing up, and now I just don't care. He's nothing to me.
Seems like there's some tension there. Are you sure that you feel nothing?
Okay, maybe a little.
I would like to try something called the empty chair method. I'll pull up a chair and you'll talk to your father as if he were sitting here with us. Is that something you'd be comfortable with?
Yeah, if you think it'll work.
So, if your father were here, what would you say to him?
Um, why was the bottle more important than your family? We loved you, and for what? So you could drink your life away? You were never there for my graduation, for my wedding, for the birth of my two beautiful babies. You missed every occasion for a bottle that eventually killed you. I'm sorry, that was a lot for me. Can I click my dog?
I understand this is overwhelming for you. Let me know when you're ready to move on.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't expect to get so emotional.
You're okay. It's completely understandable. What other areas are you having trouble with? I remember earlier you mentioned having issues transitioning in your workplace.
Um, yes, I've had some issues with my manager. Um, I wanted to quit, but where will I go? I have to pay bills. I have mouths to feed. I can't just go somewhere and start new.
Can you elaborate on the issues you're having with your manager?
I've been working at the front desk for about 6 years or so now, busting my ass. And my manager demoted me and then proceeded to give the other staff members a raise. Like what? I'm confused. And then when I confronted him on the matter, he then proceeded to tell me that he didn't need to explain himself to me, and then told me to get back to work.
I get that this can be pretty difficult to deal with. But let me ask you a question. If you woke up tomorrow and all of your problems were fixed, what would life look like for you?
My life would be so much easier to manage if I didn't have all of these problems. I would have a job that I enjoyed going to. I would be able to pay my bills and provide for my children. I would have a better relationship with my family, and I wouldn't drink as much because I wouldn't have to relieve that stress. So I don't see how any of that would be possible.
I can see how it might be difficult to picture a better life for yourself, but I'm here to help you. We can look into some resources that would help you find a new job. Is that something you'd be interested in?
I mean, yeah, of course, that is definitely something I'd be interested in, but would I be supported through my transition? I can't just like start over.
I can look into that as well. Aside from looking for a job, I would also strongly advise attending AA meetings at least twice a week.
I think I could do that.
Okay, Lainey, in our next session, I would like to look more into your job search. If you're able, please come to the next session with a list of the kinds of jobs you want to look into and your wants and needs from them.
Okay, that sounds great. I'm happy to see you next week.